Edmond Storms, Dr. Storms, Los Alamos National Labs. Ladies and gentlemen, Edmond Storms, 1989, was paid by the federal government to study cold fusion and fusion in general. And he came up with a theory about fusion, about a crack. That when fusion happens, it happened in a crack in the metal. And I went to his lab, met with him. We had a discussion about it, and I said, I'll get back to you and make a decision. Well, I validated Edmond Storms' crack theory. And what happens is, during the cold fusion experiment, for 7/10 of a second, nobody's ever been able to sustain fusion in general. Okay? And so during the cold fusion experiment, the 7/10 of a second would, the carbon would expand to graphene, giving the crack. Okay? I apologize for my messy workbench. And Edmond Storms, here we are. There will be one more addition to this cart, a couple batteries, in honor of Pons and Fleshman. Okay? But this is not cold fusion. This is registered hot fusion. Cold fusion is the path to hot fusion. I apologize in the past many a times. 99% truth and 1% lie to protect something. Cold fusion does work, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the first fire of the lovely hot fusion reactor. I would have had this done several years ago, but my lab was stolen from me from Los Alamos Labs by a gentleman named Scott Wingrove. I'm going to mention that every single time. Had two $250,000 reactors. He took them to the scrapyard for probably $1,500 for drug money. So, when I'm finished with the one outside, here is the first fire, Edmund. Here's the electrode that we loaded the last time. Okay? I got to be careful not to get lit up here. We've already pretty much beat the record here. But this is just a start. Okay? The electrode's going to get warm. And we're just going to see how many we can dip. Well, that's warming up. I want you to see something because I'm not necessarily nice. These are the size wires running the reaction. And we're going to get all 10 of these electrodes cherry red hot. Okay? Let this one warm up. Would you do me a favor? Hold the camera here while I push the button, whatever you do, and let's just have some fun. Okay? Why not? We have Vaseline. Now I have to be careful not to be lit up. I should have did these before, but I didn't. I just thought about it. How do you like that for an electrode? Just so I can get some nice adjustment. Since we're talking about it, it's a temperature issue. Okay? Fusion is biological and superconductive and gravity. You have to have biology, gravity, you need to amplify gravity. Number one, first you need to figure out what the fuck gravity is. Okay? Obviously, I know what it is because I can amplify it. And how to produce it. 33 times the mass of Earth by gravity weight. Okay? That's number two. Then you have to understand superconductivity. Then you've got to amplify superconductivity. Otherwise, you're not going to get fusion. So the combination of those alone, you're still 30, 50 years away on figuring out fusion in general. Just like the book says. They just need to cook. It's just going to take a while to get them all going, and then it's going to take longer for them to load. Once they load, you know it, because the light goes from this color to purple. And when it's at purple, that's registered hot fusion, period. And we'll be able to pull these electrodes out tomorrow, because this is going to stay running. We're going to go clean the shop, right? Just don't bump it. You can look at it, just don't touch it. You won't get shocked or nothing. But, I mean, come over here. Give me your hand. Put it right here on the side of the stainless steel. No, down here. Tell me how hot that is right there already.
It's cold.
No, up.
Oh yeah, I feel it.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's getting hot.
Yeah, just don't shake it. It's smoking hot already. This stainless steel. That's called the electromagneto-optical effect. It's what gets defeated in cold fusion. But I defeat that in this. I also, Edmond Storms, I apologize. I'm a bigger liar than I've been saying. I do calorimeter in steel. I just choose not to. Because it gets too hot, okay? That's why I calorimeter in glass. And that's why I tell you guys, go ahead and calorimeter in steel. You're going to defeat yourself, what you've been doing. But this is why I'm very careful with steel. And I have to calorimeter in glass so it doesn't get this hot. This is smoking hot. Rick, go out to my bags out there, and there's a temperature gun. You know, a little digital temperature gun in my tool bag. Go grab it for me.
You know where it's at? Here. Yeah? Here, hold the camera.
Here. Okay. What bag? I told you not to bump the cart. Yeah. You'll find it. But the electrode is here, and it just barely got started. And this is very hot. And that's extremely hot right there. Yeah. And the plastic is cold. And yeah, woo! And the electrode is cold. You gotta be careful. Yeah. There's a thing about fusion energy, superconductivity energy. It's a little bit different kind of a shock. Not the same as electromagnetism, that's for sure. It wakes you up. Okay. $65. It's a lot hotter than 80, I can tell you that. We're back at the infrared signal. But 91, it's pretty, that's okay. For that little bit of spark. So. Shut the door all the way, please. Yeah. It's pretty nice to get started, I think. Couple of things, Edmond. Flow meter, pressure gauge, and if you notice something, I've got everything shut, but it's pulling a vacuum. I forgot to tell you that. Okay? Yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you that. Because there's no oxygen coming off the positive electrode, the pretty ones in the center. They can run on telephone wire too, but I thought might as well make them look pretty. Okay, for the little princess crown. Okay, watch the vacuum gauge, because what's happening is the oxygen is being disassociated to hydrogen. And the neutrons are being hydrated, okay, to protons. The name of my company is Proton Spin Technology for a reason, Dr. Storms, because I know how to control the spin of the proton based on the induction of the neutron, so we can get gravity, heavy and light. So this is pretty cool. Check this out. Gotta be careful not to touch anything. Quick disconnect. Okay. Oops. I'm trying not to move the water. Until it gets started, it's a good idea to leave the water still. Okay, nice quick disconnect. So we can lift the lid and take it right off and check things out. This will go down to the control pot. I'll get that in a second. Pardon my mess. I've been, well, finishing. So I get to clean my workbench now. Finally get to clean my workbench. Okay. Okay, so the top must be. So we're almost ready to paint the floor. Got everything kind of cleaned out. Gonna move some equipment now that this thing is running. We'll have the floor painted and the walls painted tomorrow. So it'll start looking nice. These are for final distillation. But now I can start on this one. This reactor. Okay? And that one there. But this is the last time you'll probably see the shop a mess. Working on it. I'm just trying to document everything. Progress. Okay. For Formula U. Batching. By tomorrow this time, that'll be full. At market weight of rhodium. It'll be $1 million in that vat, whether you like it or not. Okay. I'm going to put the phone down the best I can. Maybe we'll just go till the fucking thing runs out. Edmond Storms, if you notice, the orange one is negative and the white one is positive. I just need a little bit bigger on the negative, okay? Or should I go like this? Because I know you can hear me. Would you like me to turn it up? And number one is already purple because it was loaded already. It just needs to get hot. But it's definitely purple. I'll show you a little bit. So I don't know when the phone's going to shut off the camera time. It'll just be what it is, and we'll pick it up from here. Repeating to 10. Dr. Storms, if you're wondering why I got such big wires on this, it's because right now we're under what's called regulated fusion or regulated potential. You don't need to go unregulated, but when I do, I'm going to raise the potential. You could do it on small wire, but if you're going in the center of the wire with more volume, the better. It's not an amp issue at all. This wire is now superconductive. The carbon is changed to graphene, and it's zung right through the center of the wire. No problem. So the bigger the wire, no problem. I'm showing you this, but on the big one, I'm using aught cable because I wanted all that potential because I'm going to fire some big ass electrodes. Milliamps, I just want the potential. I want the volume. It's not an amp issue. It's not an amp issue. It's a corridor issue. I want more corridors. That felt good. It's a different kind of shock. Be careful. Yeah. Edmond Storms. Well, this is loading up. April 2nd, 2016. We were taking out a 250 kVW genset, and we killed the sub panel. Checked the power on the other side. Everything was fine, but the panel was wired backward. I opened the door, put my 3/8 Allen wrench on my snap-on metal socket ratchet right in the lug. 480 volts straight on the grid. Oh yeah, for at least 15 seconds, 20 seconds before I got so mad I fucking pulled myself off that. It hurt.